Winter is just around the corner, and so are some seriously chic new trends. That's why in today's episode, I'm breaking down the key Winter 2025 trends that are going to dominate, and most importantly, how to actually wear them. Hi, I'm Leonie and welcome to my channel. Now, whether you're looking to update your wardrobe for winter or if you want to get some more use out of the clothes that you already own, then today's episode is for you. And before we jump into the trends, I get asked all the time about my day-to-day makeup routine. So I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on some of my favorite products and how I apply them for a very easy, goof-proof makeup look. I filmed this little segment before I left home and came to the studio, so check it out and then we'll jump straight into the trends. Now let me grab my all-time favorite product. This product completely changed my life. It's called the Minimalist. It's a stick foundation which also doubles as a concealer. So I just kind of roughly apply it around the areas where I need to get some coverage. Then I just take a brush. This is the Merit brush. You can do this with your fingers if you prefer. Like, as you can see, it really just glides across the skin. It's one of those products that just gives me the coverage that I want, but isn't creating a mask, if you know what I mean. So after I've done my base, I move on to my eyes. I don't always apply a shadow, but today I am, because Merit has launched these very cool solo shadow sheens, and they're like a sheen for grown-ups. They're buildable, self-setting cream shadow that gives a beautiful wash over the eyelids. Basically, these shadows are for anyone who likes a little bit of a natural sheen, but doesn't necessarily like too much shadow. The great thing about them too is that there's no sparkle in there, because I'm sure you probably know as you get older, as soon as you add some sparkle anywhere, it really does kind of emphasize, well, certainly for me, my slightly crepier skin around my eyes. So not having any sparkle, but a little bit of sheen is kind of the perfect balance. What I also do is add a little bit of the same solo shadow and just apply a very thin sort of line underneath my eye to just kind of open my eye a little bit. Oh, and the other thing I should mention about these solo shadow sheens, they haven't actually launched yet. I've been able to have a play around with them for the last few weeks. They launch on the 22nd of October, but the exciting news is that the Merit team, who are sponsoring today's episode, are giving you guys a very secret early access code to shop these before anyone else gets a chance to. Now, I will leave all of the details and a link in the description box below so you can go and check them out and shop them early, because they will sell out. Next up for me is bronzer. I love me a bit of bronzer. I find warming up my complexion definitely makes me feel kind of youthful and just more alive. And I'm using a brush here, but you can also blend the bronzer in with your fingers, a sponge, or a brush, whatever you choose. Just cleaning up my product so I can show you guys my next step, which is my Flash Balm. And this is such a great product. I love it because, again, you put it where you need it. It just melts into my skin. And for me, it's all about just giving me a really natural appearance. I like to look glowy and natural, and this gives me just a really lovely flush across my cheeks. I also love just finishing off my look with a little bit of lipstick. This is my go-to everyday lipstick color. I've kind of found my everyday lipstick, which looks natural, but that is pretty much my everyday look. It's very simple, and as you can see, it's very quick. Anyway, big thanks to Merit for sponsoring this portion of today's episode, and definitely if you want to try those amazing new shadows, get in quick with that early access code. But now let's jump straight into these trends. Now first up, and this is one of my favorites, and it is funnel neck jackets and coats. Now this hands down has to be one of the most popular trends for the season. I particularly love them because they are structured, chic, and super practical. They give off that uber cool vibe while keeping you extra warm even when you're not wearing a scarf. Some are cropped trench style jackets, some are more kind of bomber-esque, and there are even cropped full length and some really gorgeous leather options. So there really is a style in this particular silhouette for everyone. And seriously, depending on the style of the funnel neck jacket or coat, you can pair them back with anything from jeans to tailored pants to dresses. You name it, they are going to be a really versatile piece to own. Oh, and I almost forgot to say that this season there are some really lovely textured options. There are some corduroy, velvet, and there's also lots of amazing colors on offer. So definitely don't overlook this very cool trend. Now this one is probably going to divide you guys, but belt bags are back, but they've almost kind of grown up a bit. Think sleek leather, minimal hardware, and they're being worn crossbody over coats or blazers. And for me, I think that they're just the perfect mix of function and fashion. Hands-free, but definitely polished. Now, I recently talked about one of my favorite content creators here who styled a Home Depot workman's tool belt, a yellow suede tool belt with one of her double denim looks. And it's one of those things that I just can't stop thinking about. But I'll show you a picture of her outfit. As I said, she got this tool belt, which she has fashioned into a kind of a belt bag. I think it looks super cool. The only problem I have is that I'm not sure that I'm cool enough to pull off this particular style. She looks amazing in it. I don't know whether I'm a little too old or a little too uncool, but please let me know in the comments below what you think. Should I go to my local hardware store and grab myself a cheap tool belt and fashion it to wear as a belt bag? Please let me know what you guys think. This season's print revival is all about spots, or should I say polka dots. And there's everything on offer, from micro dots on blouses and skirts to oversized versions on either sheer pieces or coats. So there is a polka dot for everyone. Now, to make them feel modern, I would suggest pairing them with something a little unexpected, like leather or denim, to keep them kind of looking cool instead of cutesy. Or you can wear your spots together, so a smaller spot piece back with more of a larger polka dot. But spots will be everywhere, and I've even seen them on things like big puffer jackets and socks, scarves, you name it. You are going to see a lot of polka dots. As I said, this is most definitely the print of the season. Now, I've talked a lot recently in videos about suede having a major moment this season, and one of the ways that it is playing out is that suede bags are by far the choice for winter 2025. Now, that just means that there are going to be a lot of suede bags on offer, and I've seen everything imaginable, from small little purses to clutches to slightly oversized totes. Some suede purses are a little bit more structured, some are sort of slouchy and more of a boho kind of vibe. Luckily, I already own a couple of suede bags, so I'll be bringing mine out when the time comes. But if you are looking at updating your selection, then what I would suggest going for, if you do want to look a little bit more modern and on trend this season, is keep an eye out for some of the chocolate browns, the sort of olivey greens, and even the burgundies like we saw last season. Now, I've talked a little bit in recent videos about brooches returning, but one of the key trends that I am seeing this season is that they are being worn in some of the most unexpected ways. So they're being pinned onto beanies, berets, shoes, even baseball caps. And when they're being worn, they tend to be worn en masse. So lots of different brooches worn together on jackets and blazers. They are also being worn to give some of your more oversized pieces some shape and kind of give them a little bit of structure. I'll show a few pictures here, but brooches are definitely where it's at. I particularly love this trend because adding a few accessories to an outfit is always just a way of really elevating an outfit and kind of taking it from zero to hero very quickly. And also brooches are a very easy piece to thrift or even ask your mother, grandmother, aunt. There are some really good options there just to update some of your pieces. I actually have a beautiful vintage Dior safety pin brooch, which I will be bringing out and enjoying wearing that. Let me know what you guys think. Are you fans of wearing brooches and certainly wearing them in these unexpected ways? Or are you not really a fan of brooches? Let's chat in the comments down below. I love our conversations. Now, a simple men's tie is going to be one of the power accessories this winter, but they're being worn in, again, unexpected ways. So you can pair a men's tie back with a simple crisp white shirt or an oversized blazer for a very classic look, or you can wear them as scarves, as belts. They're being worn in really unconventional ways, as you can see here, even tied into like a pussy bow, which I particularly love. I also love seeing them just draped loosely around your neck, just to add another layer of interest and also to add some color to an outfit. It's a very kind of Annie Hall meets street style look, but I am definitely here for it. And again, men's ties are the easiest things to thrift at your local thrift store. So if you're not sure about this trend, head to Goodwill and grab a few men's ties and have a little bit of a play. Another thing that you can do is look at the perhaps color sneakers you're wearing and grab a tie in a similar shade just to kind of pull an outfit together and create a cohesive look. It's just a bit of fun. Now, I know this list does seem like I'm picking out some of the more unexpected trends, and that's probably because some of these trends are the ones that have just personally interested me the most. And next up are these cute little crocheted bonnets. Now, I'm not sure if I'm too old or not cool enough to wear these, but I love seeing how they're being styled on the streets. Some of the street style images that I've seen have been outside fashion weeks, so they've been worn a little ahead of the season, but they've been worn in beautiful rich winter tones and in pretty moody colors, and also some interesting pops of bright color as well, just to brighten up an otherwise potentially dark and dreary winter outfit. I first started seeing these popping up in street style images outside of fashion weeks. They are very Copenhagen, so not surprisingly, I saw them popping up there. And there are just some in very interesting colors or just a fun little addition. I mean, they're not going to keep you warm. It's not a beanie. It's definitely a fashion statement, but a very simple way to add another element to your outfit. And again, a simple way to just add a little bit of color as well. And if you're not a huge fan of color, especially in winter, then the trend for wearing top to toe black seems to be very much back this winter as well. Back in the day, you might be surprised to know that I lived in black. It was the days when I was editing New Zealand's top-selling women's fashion magazine, Fashion Quarterly, and I think back then, black was very much the kind of chic look. But it was also, for me, I think a little bit of a way of kind of dressing for that job, like trying to look a little corporate and a little Devil Wears Prada. And so black was my staple in my wardrobe. So I'm kind of excited to see that the top to toe black is coming back. But what I would say when it comes to wearing all black is maybe look at mixing up some of your textures. So if you're wearing some leather team that back with a chunky knit or a wool or a cashmere. It's all about adding the different layers of texture. And I suppose that goes with any color. If you're wearing any monochrome outfit, one of the ways to kind of break it up and make it look a little maybe less boring is to play with some of those textures that you put together. Knit dresses are also going to be an essential this winter, and I'm sure for some of you they are always an essential, but it's not surprising because they are warm, they are chic, and they're one of those pieces that is just endlessly versatile. You can style them with knee-high boots and a trench coat for day, or add a wide belt and statement earrings for evening. You can team layers over them and have them as your base piece and just swap out either colors of knits or sneakers or bags. So they are a really good base layer to create an outfit from. And again, they are super comfy and very versatile. So the fact that they're on trend this season really does just mean that there are going to be more options available for you to choose from as well. Now, this next trend is one that I'm particularly loving, and it is the trend for wearing lace pieces back with leather. Now, I've talked in a few recent videos about how much I'm loving wearing my lace skirts. And certainly for winter, this is a really nice option to bring through some of those lace pieces and just make them more appropriate for the season. I also love that kind of juxtaposition of something that's really dainty and feminine with the lace, with pairing it back with something that is just a little bit more kind of rugged and street, which is the leather. It's almost like a tough meets tender kind of pairing, and it just seems to work. Some of the leather jackets that I've seen are really cropped, which is a very cool look as well. And certainly I'm loving seeing some of the chocolatey brown leather jackets that are available this season as well. I've recently updated my leather jacket collection with this very cool biker jacket. It's a full grain leather jacket from a brand called The Jacket Maker. Now, The Jacket Maker offers ready to wear, made to measure, and also bespoke custom jackets. They also offer a wide selection of leather jackets for men and for women, and in lots of different sizes and designs. In fact, they have 300 or over 300 styles on their website. I actually did own a leather biker jacket, but it was kind of oversized, and I wanted one that was a little bit more fitted. And because I like the kind of vintage look and feel of a classic biker jacket, I opted for this one. It's also really lightweight, which for me, my other big sort of biker jacket is quite heavy and weighty. So I often don't reach for it for that reason. But this one is really soft. It is a beautiful quality leather and just an easy one to pair back with some of my lace pieces. And it's, as I said, a little bit more fitted, so I'm not wearing something that's quite so oversized for a bit of a change. And I know not everyone is a fan of wearing real leather, but if you are, then I thought that I would just share The Jacket Maker with you because I hadn't heard of them before, and they actually do have a lot of really cool styles, and they're also quite affordable as well, which is kind of rare when it comes to full grain leather. The team at The Jacket Maker have also shared a discount code with me. This isn't sponsored, but they have offered me a discount code, and I will leave that in the description box below and a little bit more information about the brand. So if you're interested in leather, but you would like to invest in a piece at a better price point, then definitely go and check out The Jacket Maker. Now, when it comes to denim trends, in terms of styles, I think I've talked in enough videos recently about there's anything that goes at the moment. We are seeing some more flared style jeans, but in terms of style, I always say wear what works best for you and what you feel most comfortable in. But what I am noticing with denim jeans, especially this year, is there seems to be a real push towards more of a darker denim. I really love the darker wash denim. I'll still wear all of my regular wash denims, but I do feel that the darker denim can give off more of a sort of a smarter, more polished look. and they're perfect for pairing with structured blazers or cashmere knits, just to give that little bit more of an elevated look. So if you haven't worn more of a darker wash before, now's a good time to have a little look around and see what's on offer. The darker the wash, generally speaking, the more flattering they are as well. And again, a darker wash can be dressed up or worn casually really easily. So definitely take a look at the darker washes on offer this season. And I'm a big fan of keeping warm when it is cold outside. There is nothing worse for me than feeling the cold. And one of the trends that is happening for winter, and it's a bit of a small trend, but it's definitely worth mentioning, and that is grey tights. What does seem to be happening is grey tights are replacing your classic blacks as the real go-to neutral this winter. Now, I think they add some softness to an outfit, and they pair beautifully with navy, camel, charcoal, white, you name it. They are a great neutral. I'd love to know what you guys wear when it comes to tights in winter. Do you just grab whatever's closest at hand, or perhaps do you not even wear tights? Do you wear them? And if so, is grey of any interest to you? Let's chat in the comments below. And I'm excited to see that corduroy is actually cool again this season. So think things like wide leg pants or overshirts or jackets and blazers. Corduroy is back. And I think when it comes to these pieces, if you want to invest in pieces that you can hold on to for years to come, I would definitely say keep the cut modern, so very minimal, straight or slightly slouchy, and stick to really luxe tones in your corduroy pieces, like your rusts and chocolates or even forest green. And one of the good things that I have noticed about the corduroy this season is that it's being offered in different weights. And I know sometimes corduroy can just feel like a lot of heavy fabric. So some of the cord fabric that I've seen is more lightweight and not quite as chunky and heavy. So there are options out there. Now, this one isn't going to appeal to everyone, I know, but fluffy shoes are having a moment. Now, again, they're probably not the most practical of trend either, but boy, they are fun. In my mind, they add some texture and personality to any simple outfit, and there's interesting options available this season, from furry and kind of fluffy ballet flats to even clogs. There are some really cool fluffy options. And if you're someone that's not ready for the full fluff moment, then you can opt for some that are lined with a fluffy fabric, a shearling or a wool, because there'll be plenty of those around as well. Next up is the grandpa cardigan. Now, if you ask me, the grandpa cardigan trend is the definition of cozy chic. So think things like chunky knits, vintage buttons, and wearing these pieces slightly oversized and wearing them back with jeans or a satin slip skirt for a little bit of an unexpected look. Even some slouchy, oversized long cardigans with deep pockets like this one. I particularly love this one. They look great teamed with a beanie, and they just give a lovely, snuggly vibe. I see them as comfort, nostalgia, and style all kind of rolled into one piece. Velvet also seems to always make a comeback around this time of year, but this time it seems to be more wearable and more modern. So think things like tailored blazers, soft skirts. I've even seen a gorgeous pair of velvet balloon style pants. And when it comes to styling velvet pieces, I often suggest keeping accessories pared back and err on the side of kind of minimal accessories. What tends to happen is the velvet is a statement in itself, and that's why I think we can let the velvet or the texture of the velvet do all the talking. So there you have it. That is my roundup of the winter 2025 trends that are set to dominate this year. Now, if you would like to see some of the winter trends that you can shop right now, then click or tap on the screen here and I'll see you there.